everybody. If you landed here, you landed on Let's Talk News. And I am your host, Leticia Remauro, and my phone is going crazy. How are you tonight after the State of the Union? Is this too much light? I don't know. I'm great. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know why. Hold on. All right. We need that. Oh, much better. That overhead light is like being in the witness protection program. No, being in an interrogation. That's it, interrogation. So how are we all doing? Especially my friends that didn't stay and watch with us. We had so much fun last night. It was really great. Oh, yeah, no, I really look like I'm in the light. All right, whatever. It is what it is. Oh, that's better. Okay, let's see who's joining us tonight. Here's what we're going to do tonight, because you all wanted a recap, but here's what I did. I took Abigail Spanberger's response to the State of the Union, and I fact-checked her. Because if you look at all the coverage, everybody's fact-checking Trump. Well, I fact-checked Spanberger. And I didn't do the Democrat fact check where they just say everything is a lie. I actually pulled up videotape and news stories. So that's what we're going to do tonight. It's going to be fun. Okay, how are we? Let's see who we have. Oh, we have our trusty Kevin from the other side of the world. Thank you for joining us, Kevin. We love having you. And my mother, she's up. You missed excitement, Mom. I'll fill you in later while you were napping this afternoon. Hello, Francine. Good to have you. Hi, Angel. Hi, my angel, Angela Ricca. Good to have you. Hi, Deb. How are you? Oh, my God. I shut her off after 4 minutes. No, it was so good. Wait till you say. We might go long tonight because I have an answer for everything she claims. It's great. Do you want to just jump right into it? Let's jump right into it, because really we don't have anything else to talk about in my personal life except for my lighting is bad. So let's watch. Let's see. What should we start with? Oh my. Let's start with, well, why don't we go in order? Here we go.
Our president told us tonight that we are safer because these agents arrest mothers and detain children. Think about that. Our broken immigration system is something to be fixed, not an excuse for unaccountable agents to terrorize our communities.
Murders dropped by more than 20% last year, down to what may be the lowest murder rate in more than a century, according to a new study. The Council on Criminal Justice says it crunched numbers in 40 large cities and found that carjackings and shoplifting are also down.
So what the fuck is she talking about? The country is safer because of President Trump. Idiot. I love being able to call them out. Hello, Gary. How are you? Haven't seen you in forever. So thank you for joining. Hi, Kevin. How are you? Hello. Wait, show was the one with the dancing frogs. They are nuts. Oh, I didn't cut that one because I figured all the rest were, all the other news shows were showing that. And I wanted to, go for the meat. I want to do what nobody else does, which is I wanted to take the response and show what bullshit it was. Hello, wasn't the State of the Union address fantastic? When there was an applause, I sent in a lot of likes. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Who was the one I meant with the dancing frogs and giraffe? I can't remember who. Well, you know what? I can tell you one thing. I don't know if she's an idiot, but she's a liar. Okay, let's see what else she had to say. Yeah, watch.
So let's speak plainly and honestly. And let me ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions. Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? Is the president working to keep Americans safe both at home and abroad? Is the president working for you? As I campaigned for governor last year, I traveled to every corner of Virginia And I heard the same pressing concern everywhere. Costs are too high in housing, healthcare, energy, and childcare. And I know these same conversations are being had all across this country. Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs.
Look at this, a fresh 4.5-year low, 3.5-year low of $2.95 a gallon as of today. That is miles away from the all-time high set back in 2022 under former President Biden, above $5 a gallon. And it is lower, although only a little bit lower than at this point last year.
So I wanted to get a clip that showed all of the costs down because we know that they exist. I'm sorry. I just did not have a lot of time. And that was the last clip. And that was the one I grabbed was the gas prices. But, to say that Americans have each paid $1,700 for tariffs is an outright lie. And just to single out tariffs because there was more that's been going on in the economy. And we know also that Walmart and Amazon are future-proofing, right? They raise prices on Americans even though the tariffs didn't affect them. So, again, big lies. They like to bend the truth. It's kind of, it's what they do. They're nuts. Yeah, well, they're liars is what they are. They're liars. And I'm hoping that the American people see through them. Very emotional it was. Hello, Professor. Good to have you. Hi, Karen. How are you? I don't know. Yes, he is what? Yes, he is what? I lost my train of thought. I have no idea what yes, he is referring to. Democrats are despicable. They wouldn't even stand for the poor mother who lost her daughter in North Carolina. They disgust me. I don't even think they're Democrats. They should probably give a new name to that group. Maybe they're despicable. They're the left leaning. They're woke. Hi, Susan. We would feel the tariff relief if they would stop robbing us. We are taxed to the hilt. That's why spending is limited, causing the economy not to be affected. Well, the truth is that we're in a K economy. People are spending. I mean, they're definitely spending. There are some people that aren't, but a good majority are. I mean, we talked about the economy yesterday, right? The two things that have the drag on the economy, not tariffs, not prices, not even the price gouging from Amazon and from Walmart. The two things that are causing the drag on the economy, which were both political, is the fact that the feds are not lowering interest rates and that the Dems shut down the government in November. And now they've done it again. So these were two things that were avoidable and nobody gave a shit. We have to remember that. We went all through that yesterday's show. If you want to get down to what's really going on in the economy, look at yesterday's show. It was a 3-hour show because we stayed on and we watched the State of the Union. But the first half hour or hour actually handled the economy. Hello, Lucille. How are you? I'd like to see some commentary from CNN, MSNBC, but I can't watch their whole program. I didn't put the commentary from them because they all pretended, basically whatever Abigail said, they were saying. So you'll hear Abigail's. Hi, Gloria. How are you? Trump is working for us. Yes. Okay. Yes, Trump is working for us. That State of the Union address was amazing and will be imprinted in everyone's minds forever. Well, I think so too. I think it was historic. The Dems look like fools. Yes, they did. We're going to show some more. Yes, he is working for us. We are answering her questions. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Today I decided to go out and cut down trees in the woods, and I am now broken. Getting exhausted. Better late than never. Hey, Kyle, how are you? Okay, so that was the film. All right, so this is an interesting one. This is how when she's talking about how Trump is separating families. Watch.
Our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have done it without a warrant. They have ripped nursing mothers away from their babies. They have sent children, a little boy in a blue bunny hat, children to far-off detention centers.
She was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents. Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage ran away from home after she was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University.
So, we're worried about illegal migrants who came over here and put their children in harm's way. And we know that child in the little blue bunny hat, his father abandoned him and ICE had to take him with them. And the father wanted him with him in the detention center. We know that. But it's these parents that put their kids in harm's way. They made the decision to come across the open border and be a criminal, not because they're not being deported because they came across the border. They're being deported because they have criminal history or have been convicted of a crime here in America or have committed crimes elsewhere. Let's always remember that. But on the other hand, we had a 14-year-old girl who was kidnapped from her parents, an American citizen, kidnapped from her parents because the school wanted to transition her to be a boy. But that's perfectly okay with the Democrats and Spanberger, huh? I don't know if I read this right, or I just thought I did. Best State of the Union ever. Trump was on his game. Can't wait to see the midterm ads showing that Democrats care more about illegal aliens than American citizens. Well, there you go. There's right there. You have Spanberger, bullshitting about kidnapping children when indeed the Democrats have been kidnapping children and supporting it. Like she can do better as a nice officer. Yeah, really. Yeah, she tried to hold up her CIA training and her FBI training. And that really, it really upsets me. She came in 2018. And let's go back. Remember that we did a show about AOC and others auditioning for the part. Ilhan Omar was one. Rashida Tlaib was another. And I believe Spanberger was also one. I have not verified that, but they tried out for the part. And a lot of these people who auditioned for the part in 2018 were military people or people connected to the CIA or FBI. That concerns me. And remember, that was run by Nancy Pelosi and I forget what they called it. The Democrats for Justice or something like that. This is common sense. The other side is so twisted you can't make this up. No, you can't. Hi, Ed Paulson. Her reply reminded me of Bobby Jindal's response to Obama. Oh, God. I can't remember what that was. That's me. It just today I'm like super tired. There seems to be a terrible mind fuck out there. It's an Alfred Hitchcock movie. Yeah, it really is. It really is. And they're counting on Americans with a 6-second attention span. that they're going to get their attention. That's why Trump has to start speaking in sound bites and stop talking for so long. I swear to God, I'm going to march down there to talk to him. Democrats are done. You don't count your chickens. It's about connecting. It's about connecting, and we're not doing it, because if we were doing it, Sears would have beat Spanberger, and what's his name? Tommy would have beaten Mikey in New Jersey, and that didn't happen. God bless our President Trump. He's so amazing, and the Democrats are showing their true colors. They're all liars, so evil. They really are. Hey, Mike Cox, the Democrats said they would have stood, but their hands were cold, so they sat on them. Oh, that's fantastic. And American heroes were disrespected, our freedom fighters, not Minnesota protesters. That's true. I didn't cut that up. I should have. Staten Island Live has a school taking kids outside to protest ICE. Teachers should be terminated. Oh, she spoke about that too, about how, school kids were protesting ICE. It's crazy. I just wish he would have said, let's bring out the hockey team once again towards the end. Yeah, that, it was already, though, the longest speech in history. So I don't know. Hit her with a snowball. Yeah, okay. I love that. Okay. Here is, this was, let me see, which one am I going to play you? I'm going to play you this one. This one was a good one. Hold on. I just want to do this. Okay. Okay, this one.
He's enriching himself, his family, his friends. The scale of the corruption is unprecedented. There's the cover-up of the Epstein files, the crypto scams, cozying up to foreign princes for airplanes and billionaires for ballrooms, putting his name and face on buildings all over our nation's capital.
Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up. Yet half of all of working Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from an employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information. They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she was here?
That was great. Yeah, enriching himself. What the F are you talking about? He created the baby funds. He's doing this retirement funds. I mean, he is setting Americans up for success, not just now, but in the future. There's more, and you'll see what the Democrats are really doing, and it's crazy. Democrats are pandering to the social media junkies and are being successful in that arena. You are correct. And Trump was doing that, not pandering, but he was utilizing social media in a very positive way when he was campaigning. But then he snapped right back to old Trump, where I've got to be, talk to every answer every press question, give them too much time, step on my own messaging. I hate that. He screwed, the Trump RX was announced, and then that night he reposted that video. Actually, it wasn't that night. He had posted that video weeks before, but the Democrats decided to make an issue out of it that night. Because why? Because Trump RX was going to be taken off. You know, they're very smart, and we're not keeping up. We're in social media era. Yes, and we're in 180 characters and 6-second sound bites. That's what we're doing. But he's got to go back to that. He knows that. School kids should be on school property unless parents sign permission slip. Who is liable if they get hurt? Well, you're right about that. And they plenty have gotten hurt. Some are saying the Democrats realized they got trapped last night when Trump asked everyone who supports Americans or illegal immigrants, the ones who didn't stand, they chose immigrants. Yeah, they felt like that he trapped them, and he did. That was a masterful chess play. The Democrat side look like the people in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yeah, they really do. Trump knows how to share the spotlight. She couldn't stick up for her AG, so she just shut up in the gubernatorial debate. That's right. That's absolutely right. It's absolutely right. Yeah, 2 snowballs. Right. Okay. All right. So let's talk about affordability. Well, let's do affordability.
But here in Virginia, I am working with our state legislature to lower costs and make the Commonwealth more affordable. Democrats across the country are laser focused on affordability.
Yeah, there are really 3 categories of tax hikes here, and I see this all across the country when they want to avoid political accountability for their proposals. First, they want to tax that person behind the tree. You have a tax on large employers, a tax on wealthier residents. You have a tax on hotel guests who can't vote in the jurisdiction that's taxing them. Those proposals are very concerning. You also have the nickel and dime variety taxes on ride shares, Uber deliveries, for example. There's an even higher tax on Northern Virginia residents, and they're portraying it as, well, it's only 4 cents or an extra 1.6 cents on the dollar. You'll never notice it. Well, if you use rideshare often enough, that's going to add up. The third category they're trying is these once-in-a-blue-moon taxes. They're big taxes, but they occur on things that most people don't do very often, like buy a new car, purchase a gas-powered leaf blower. All of these things constitute a huge increase in Virginia's tax burden that is unaffordable, especially when states to the south and west of Virginia are cutting their taxes.
Talking about free buses, we're talking about dipping into the rainy day fund. We're not talking about taxing millionaires. We're talking about taxing working class people.
The budget gap is mainly due to ballooning rental assistance programs and spending to reduce class sizes in schools. The mayor says he's already working to find savings throughout city government. But budget observers like the Citizens Budget Commission call a wealth tax versus property tax debate a false choice.
The best option is to dig into the agencies, identify spending that is helping New Yorkers and keep it, that is not helping New Yorkers and shrink it or eliminating it.
And local leaders who generally support the mayor say a property tax hike is a non-starter.
We have to stand up for homeowners, in particular black and brown homeowners who have.
So I guess she was lying because her own state is raising taxes. Her Democrat legislature, and in her speech last night, she was proud of how she beat her opponent by 15 points and how she flipped the legislature and how they have now a Democrat legislature. And her goal is affordability. But the first thing they did in January was to pass 50 bills that had tax hikes in them. And the first gentleman talked about it. And then she said that all Democrats across America are lowering tax, are trying to address affordability. And you saw what Mamdani has to do, or thinks he has to do, or is going to do. So I still believe they're keeping prices high to hurt Trump. Walmart gas is usually 20 cents cheaper than other gas. And last month it's been the same. Gas is up by me, but I do have a Dem governor. Okay, so the truth, we already talked about it, right? Walmart is future-proofing. They're bullshit. Amazon bullshit. But what's going on with the gas now is the oil companies are hiking gas for 2 reasons. Number one, we're coming into the the spring, summer when they do hike gas. But now they're claiming that they're going to hike the gas because of Iran, instability in Iran. We don't get gas from Iran. And oh, by the way, right now we've got a whole bunch of Venezuelan oil that we're, cleaning up. So it's the game, right? It's the trade game. And yes, they're trying to hurt Trump. I mean, and I said it, he needs to come down on them and he needs to say absolutely no. He did it before. Why in particular black and brown homeowners? I'm so sick of a classification because they're Democrats. That's what they do. Oh, wait, hold on. Russell B. Long, 1972 quote. You're asking me to remember back to 1972? I was 9. Help. Price gouging all over the place. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. Walgreens doing it too. Oh, interesting. Well, we have Trump RX, so you can go on trumprx.gov and get your prescriptions there for cheaper. New tax increases is no good, just allows wasteful government spending. Responsible government spending is mandatory for fiscal responsibility and safety. Well, let's see. But the thing is that she said she campaigned on affordability, and that's what Democrats are doing all across the nation. But look, the two biggest, everybody look at me, Mamdani and her, and they both are raising taxes. So I would say Pinocchio's, that would be a good idea. A Marxist has a different concept of ownership. Yeah, you know what, Ed? You're absolutely right. Don't tax, you don't tax me tax, the fella behind the tree. Oh. Okay, right. God, you're so smart, Professor. This is the most consistent increase I've been seeing in my retirement balance. Hi, Corey. Yeah, it is. And it's great. And the fact that he is going to set up Americans who don't have 401ks to have one, and the government is going to match it, that's amazing. I wish he would correct the deductions, because I think that there are people like deductions for like W-2 workers. They used to be, who need like special gear and tools and stuff. They used to be able to deduct work boots and wrenches and tools and stuff like that each year. But that went away in the one big beautiful bill. The Democrats did it in 2018. They took it away, and it was supposed to expire in 2025, and somehow it snuck into the one big beautiful bill. So that needs to be corrected. So no more drug votes in Venezuela. What's the status there with the government and the cartels? Oh, well, I can tell you that today we had a shootout with Cuba, I think. Venezuela is our friend, according to the president. And we're getting a lot of oil from them. So, it's everybody wants to be a friend when they know that you can burst in and take the dictator right out from his sleeping bed. What happened here? Where'd that go? Long live 401ks with matching contributions, government or business. That's true. My retirement went up, was able to take some out and pay a large IRS bill from 2020. Yippee. Oh, good for you. I'm worried about my IRS bill this time, because I took out money too. So I don't think that the one big beautiful bill is going to help me. It didn't help some people in the state earning only $50,000. So I don't think it's going to help me. But hopefully it'll help the people that were not normal Republican voters. Okay, here's another one.
Here's the truth. Over the last year, through DOJ, mass firings, and the appointment of deeply unserious people to our nation's most serious positions, our president has endangered the long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good.
Amid ongoing tariff negotiations, countries around the world appear to be competing to win the favor of US President Donald Trump through flattery. Some countries are even going so far as to nominate President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Here's Han Yo-hee with the report.
The nominations for the revered Nobel Peace Prize, which are aimed at currying favor with President Trump, are continuing. Cambodia, which recently reached a ceasefire with Thailand, has announced plans to nominate President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize.
In appreciation of his devoted efforts for peace, we strongly assert that.
Okay. So, she's trying to say that, we're a disgrace on the world stage, and clearly we're not. Again, she's a fucking liar. Odd that the country just turned around, especially since Maduro's second in command is in charge. Just curious. No, it's not odd. They're afraid of what we can do. And Trump is not playing games. They don't have anything. Just think about this. When they took Maduro, what was the technology he was using to protect himself was Chinese and Russian technology. And the United States was able to obliterate that, get past that, and get Maduro. So what are you going to do if you're the second in command? Are you going to try to go back to what Maduro was doing and have America as your enemy? Especially since Russia, they ran away. Russia and China went, gotta go. And they both ran. So they left Venezuela hanging. And then Venezuela oil was going to Cuba. So Trump strangling Cuba. And so this was a series of chess moves that was all designed to get Russia to stop the Ukraine war and to actually get either China or Russia to ally with us, because he doesn't care which one, as long as they're not allied together. So China, Russia, Iran. Remember, those are the ones he's got to break apart, and that's important. So that's what that's all about. We need to get rid of all the taxes. I agree, and he said last night that the tariffs will make that happen, and I believe it will, because that's what it should be. It should not be that we work till June to pay our tax bill. That's crazy. Why would anybody want to work? And that's why so many aren't working. And I think that, I don't know if I kept it in or not. But I think in the Mamdani, in the Mamdani clip, they talked about the reason that there's such a deficit, which, by the way, is $5 billion. And the other day we talked about the expansion of, that they want, AOC and Mamdani did a PSA together telling all illegals to bring their kids to pre-K for 3PK. That program cost $3.2 billion for 50 to 70,000 kids. And the budget deficit, the gap in the budget, is $5 billion. So if they got rid of 3PK, there would be much less of a budget gap. And then looked into the agencies where all the money is getting squandered. But anyway, what is causing the budget gap was all the rent assistance programs. So to get rid of the rent assistance programs and reduce 3PK, you'd be able to balance the budget instead of raising property taxes. But that's not what Mamdani wants. He wants Staten Island gone. He wants private home ownership gone. It's not a joke. It's fact. And, his housing person has said it. It's amazing how a brain injury improves one's perspective. Fetterman. Oh my God. Fetterman was fantastic. Average individual tax returns are up 11%. They have to pay 11% more, or they're getting back 11%. I don't know. Another talking head. Yeah. President Trump is doing a fantastic job. Yes, he is. He was doing the State of the Union last night and setting up to deal with Iran if necessary. Amazing man. He doesn't sleep. He's like Giuliani. Remember, Giuliani never slept, and look at what he did to New York. It was fantastic. Didn't Hillary promise to nominate Trump if he brought peace to Israel? Shalom. Yeah. I think it was, I don't know if it was Israel or Russia, Ukraine, one or the other. Taxes are needless, income hinder, and especially with needless spending. Yeah. getting back 11% more. Oh, great. And, we have Debbie is our resident comedian and Colleen is our resident numbers girl, economist, accountant. I don't know. CPA. That's what she is. All right. We have a couple more. I know we're over already. So this one is what everybody wants to see.
In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse. He tries to divide us. He tries to enrage us, to pit us against one another, neighbor against neighbor.
It's how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
They didn't stand. It was crazy. She wrote the speech beforehand. Yeah, they do. And that's the whole thing is just so dopey. It's not a response. It's their propaganda. And I could disprove every statement she made with the truth. I just didn't want to bore us all, but I think that we're doing pretty good, right? Everything she said, I had an answer for. You wonder why people get divorced. 2 minutes with her and I'm gone. Yeah. Well, what are their solutions? I haven't heard one policy or answer to what they disagree with Trump on. Well, they don't want to do anything about immigration. Because if they did, they would have changed the immigration rules in 2018. They would have changed they would have changed them back when Obama was president because he begged them to fix immigration. He was they called him the deportator in chief. I mean, he was the one who used to deport all the migrants, and he was trying to press the Democrats, the Congress, to fix the immigration laws. And they never did it. And then in 2018, they never did it when they took Congress from Trump. They never did it. He wanted them to fix it. They never did it. And now, I say that it would be great if the Republicans fixed it. I think that would be a great idea. But anyway, their solution is to raise taxes. Their solution is to tell you they're making things affordable while they're picking your pocket. Because at the end of the day, the new Democrats, they want to undermine America. That's what they want. What a laugh. This bitch she is lying. Yes, she is. These people are crazy. Yeah, I got that one too. Hold on. Them not standing for Americans first will go down in infamy. You would think so. They didn't stand last year and didn't help November elections. Did Fetterman stand? He did. He wore a suit. And he stood. She is a joke. That was the moment Hakeem and Schumer said he got butthurt. Yeah. That was a checkmate moment. Why do the Democrats get to do a rebuttal speech when there's a Democrat president? Do the Republicans get the same? Absolutely. Every single time. You have the response. If it's a Republicans, Democrats respond. If it's a Democrat, we responded to all the State of the Union addresses. Nobody watches them. I do, but nobody else. It was me and two other people. They use the border as a pawn for power. Always did. Okay. I think I saw him stand at least one time. Yeah, he absolutely did. He stood. And he was on all the talk shows tonight. Yesterday, rather, last night. Okay.
These people are crazy. I'm telling you, they're crazy. Amazing, incredible. Boy, oh boy. We're lucky we have a country. With people like this, Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we? Huh?
I love that. Kevin's and I, amazing, were on last night. And when he did that, and Deb was on my phone, when he did that, holy shit. I mean, I was screaming. We were all screaming. It was great. Did mainstream media air the State of the Union? Yeah. CNN, ABC, CBS. Yeah. Where did I watch it? I watched it on PBS, I think. Epic. Yeah, that was epic. Does his suit have a hoodie attached? He says that he has more hoodies than suits, but it did not have a hoodie attached. It was great. It's great. He looked good last night. All right, here's our last one.
Penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
He's like, Daddy. I love him. Daddy, you should be ashamed. And then the petulant kid. Yeah, you should be ashamed. That was some of the greatest entertainment that I've seen in years. Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I love Trump. He's a regular guy. Listen, our country needs a daddy because we have a bunch of freaking petulant teenagers in elected office in a lot of places, especially in Queens, New York, which is really, really, really a problem. And if we're not careful, we're going to get them, these socialist Democrats, all over the place. So I'm going to post some shorts on the responses to Abigail's lies, and hopefully we'll get it shared. Remember, go to YouTube and subscribe. And when you do, you'll get notified when I post the shorts. Share them, put them on your social media. Let's try our best to get our voices out there. I don't know. I mean, maybe you do your own. I don't know if you guys are into it, but at least share the shorts that I put up. I put them on my Facebook too. The more it gets out there, the better it's going to be for the conservative message come November. Omar, go back home. Yeah, she does need to go back home. She lives for Somalia. She does not live for America. What's the chance she'll be gone? I don't know how, because it must be in the water. Minnesotans have lost their minds. They have. I mean, Walz had a satanic display in the state capitol 2 years in a row. Nobody had a problem with it. Those two bitches should be kicked out of this country. I agree, especially her, because she's on camera talking about how the reason she's in Congress here is to get money to Somalia. And then now with all of the fraud, it's just, and we're going to go under the guise of, oh, you're a racist because we're black and brown people. No, you're criminals. When he said Somali pirates last night, it was great, because all of a sudden we're not allowed to call out and say that you're not a good person because of the color of your skin. It's amazing to me that we allowed ourselves to get here. It's amazing, especially for a billionaire. He could totally hang with us. Oh yeah, absolutely, he could hang with us. Although I'm still mad at him. I feel bad for decent Democrats like McMahon, Joe Delaney, etc. Yeah, well, the Blue Dog Democrats are a thing of the past. They're being challenged by the socialist Democrats. Look at Cuomo. Look what happened. Yeah, maybe the chemtrails are extra thick in Minnesota, possibly. All right, we're really over. I got to do some work around the house because I spent my whole day in the woods. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. The whole squad should be kicked out of the country. I agree, Kevin. All right, I'll see you at 8 tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.